A year ago, I never thought that I would be doing this HexClad review. As you might know, HexClad pans used to contain PTFE coatings to make them non-stick. However, the company recently ditched the chemical coatings in favor of their new Terabond ceramic non-stick coating, which is free from PTFE, PFAS, lead, and cadmium. Considering this decisive shift away from questionable chemical coatings, I decided to give HexClad Cookware a try for myself to see if their pots and pans lived up to the hype that I'd read about in other HexClad reviews. You'll find links to some of my most recommended pieces of HexClad Cookware in the description box below. HexClad's unique selling point is its hybrid cooking surface that combines stainless steel and non-stick technology. The pans feature a distinctive hexagonal pattern of stainless steel peaks raised above valleys of nonstick coating. This design aims to give you the best of both worlds. The stainless steel hexagons allow for effective searing and browning, while the nonstick areas prevent food from sticking. The hexagons also help distribute heat evenly across the cooking surface, giving you better results without the need to cook on high heat. What makes HexClad different from regular nonstick is its durability. Several HexClad reviews mention that it offers exceptional longevity compared to traditional nonstick pans, though opinions vary on its overall performance. Although I've only had my HexClad pans for 6 months at the time of recording, I have to say these pans feel really sturdy compared to traditional nonstick pans. And because of the PFOA-free nonstick coating in the valleys between the steel hexagons, you get better food release than pure stainless steel while still getting most of the browning capabilities. HexClad recommends seasoning their pans before first use, though this is somewhat unusual for a nonstick product. Some critics point out that this requirement seems contradictory to the typical benefits of nonstick cookware. However, you have to remember that HexClad pans are stainless steel as well as nonstick, hence the need for seasoning and minimal fat during cooking. The cookware works on all cooktops, including induction, thanks to its steel construction. You can also use metal utensils with HexClad, which is normally a no-no with traditional nonstick pans. Heat control is important with these pans. They conduct heat super efficiently, so you'll need to use lower temperature settings than you're used to. When you're investing in cookware, safety is just as important as performance if you ask me. HexClad pans have generated buzz for their hybrid design, but what about their toxicity levels? HexClad pans used to contain PTFE, which is why I avoided them for years. However, this is thankfully no longer the case. HexClad now uses a ceramic non-stick coating called Terabond for their cookware, which has been confirmed as free from PTFE, PFAS, lead, and cadmium in third-party lab testing. This is good news if you're concerned about harmful chemicals leaching into your food like I am. The appeal of HexClad is that you can have your cake and eat it too. You get the searing power of stainless steel with the fuss-free food release and hassle-free cleanup of nonstick pans, but without the nasty chemicals. The standout advantage of HexClad compared to stainless steel is convenience. Food releases more easily from a HexClad pan than with standard stainless steel, and cleanup is typically much quicker as well. You can even use metal utensils with HexClad without worrying about scratching the surface. Stainless steel cookware, however, excels in durability and heat tolerance. Now, HexClad is still far more durable than your typical nonstick cookware, which is evidenced by the fact that it's oven safe up to 900 degrees Fahrenheit, which is completely unheard of for a nonstick pan. If you want ultimate durability though, stainless steel would still be my #1 pick. That said, poor quality stainless steel pans aren't exactly durable. So if you do decide to go for stainless steel, just be sure to get something very high quality. The downside of stainless steel is that it's not nonstick, so you'll have to use much more cooking fat than with HexClad. Plus, it takes longer to clean and requires more elbow grease too. HexClad offers exceptional durability that vastly outperforms standard non-stick options. Although I was skeptical for a long time, I can honestly say that it's the most durable non-stick surface that I've encountered on a frying pan. Even with high-end non-stick pans, you have to avoid metal utensils if you want to keep the coating from getting destroyed. But with HexClad, you can use metal utensils with no problem. However, durability comes with a trade-off. HexClad actually provides less non-stick performance than regular Teflon pans. Your eggs and delicate foods might not slide around quite as freely as they would in a traditional non-stick pan. However, I find that using a bit more cooking fat helps nullify this minor drawback. You won't need as much oil or butter as you would with a stainless steel, but you do need some kind of cooking fat to unlock the full potential of HexClad cookware. Weight-wise, HexClad falls between traditional, non-stick, and cast iron. It's lighter than cast iron, but has somewhat similar cooking properties, making it easier to handle during cooking sessions. Price is another significant factor to consider. HexClad comes with a premium price tag, whereas a typical non-stick pan is pretty cheap. However, considering that HexClad pans are more durable and don't come coated with any harmful chemicals, I think the investment is worth it. Plus, you can save quite a lot of money by investing in a set of pots and pans, and HexClad has quite a few bundles to choose from. More on that in a minute. HexClad cookware is remarkably easy to clean. The hexagonal pattern design contributes to its cleaning efficiency, allowing for quick cleanup even after cooking sticky foods. Many users, myself included, report that a simple rinse with warm water is often enough to clean their HexClad pans. This is particularly impressive considering the pan's ability to sear food effectively. The curved corners of the 12-inch skillet, for example, not only help with achieving a nice sear on steaks, but also make it easier to clean all surfaces of the pan without food getting trapped in corners. For day-to-day maintenance, you'll find that minimal effort is required to keep your HexClad cookware looking and performing well, which is one of the appeals of this hybrid cookware. As with any cookware brand, there are mixed opinions about HexClad, although it has to be said that most HexClad pans reviews are overwhelmingly positive. On the internet, there seems to be a sort of negativity bias, by which I mean that we mostly tend to hear about people's bad experiences. Humans love to complain. However, when everything is going swimmingly with their new purchase, people don't tend to talk about it as much. As a result, we can often be misled into thinking that a product is flawed when, in reality, only a few people had a bad experience. In terms of bad HexClad reviews, I've seen a few people complain that HexClad isn't as non-stick as they'd hoped. While I definitely agree that HexClad isn't as non-stick as traditional Teflon pans, it's still much more non-stick than stainless steel. Plus, their ceramic coating is non-toxic, unlike typical non-stick cooking surfaces, which are loaded with chemicals. In my experience, using a bit more cooking fat is an easy way to make HexClad pans virtually non-stick. Some people seem to think that they can use HexClad without any cooking fat at all, which is just not true. After all, HexClad pans do have lots of stainless steel as well, which naturally requires seasoning to work at its best. Also, some people tend to experience sticking when they use HexClad with excessive heat. My advice is to not rush your cooking and instead start on a lower heat and increase it as and when needed. HexClad pans heat faster and more evenly than standard cookware, so you really don't need to crank the heat up high. The question of whether HexClad cookware is worth its premium price tag depends on what you're looking for in your kitchen tools. At around $200 for a 12-inch frying pan, it's definitely an investment. For some home cooks, HexClad offers a compelling middle ground. The pans deliver better searing capabilities than typical nonstick cookware, while providing easier cleanup than traditional stainless steel. If you're looking for versatility and are willing to pay for it, HexClad is definitely worth buying. You should also consider durability in your calculation. While cheap nonstick pans are certainly cheaper upfront, you'll have to replace them much more frequently. Plus, unlike other nonstick pans, HexClad Cookware is third-party tested and free of PTFE, PFAS, lead, and cadmium, making it a much healthier choice. HexClad offers several cookware sets for those wanting to outfit their kitchen all at once. These sets typically include a variety of pan sizes, pots, and sometimes additional accessories like lids or utensils. The main benefit is that you can overhaul your cookware with one purchase. However, even though these cookware sets are an investment up front, they work out significantly cheaper over the long haul compared to buying individual items of cookware. The most popular bundle is their 12-piece hybrid pots and pan set, which includes 8-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch frying pans with lids, 2-quart and 3-quart saucepans with lids, and an 8-quart stock pot with lid. The sets range in cost from about $400 all the way up to almost $3,000. So, whether you just want a few pans to get started or are buying cookware for a commercial kitchen, there's a set to suit your cooking needs. The sets are particularly appealing if you want a cohesive look in your kitchen. All pieces feature the same distinctive hexagonal pattern and sleek handles, which I have to admit do look really good. And with that said, I hope that my HexClad cookware review gave you a good idea of what to expect from this popular hybrid cookware brand. I'm really glad to see that HexClad has ditched its old non-stick coatings in favor of a new ceramic-based non-stick coating, which is much healthier to cook with. You'll find links to some of my most recommended pieces of HexClad cookware in the description box below.